Imagine a person who provides services to society. Maybe he mows lawns or fixes cars or paints houses, and in return for these services he provides to others, he asks for something in return, maybe some food, clothing, and shelter. Now, suppose it's the case that society values what this person provides tremendously. Maybe because these are things that society really needs, or maybe because there are very few people who are able to do these things. But for whatever reason, society places a great value on the things this person contributes. And let's suppose also that society places a low value on the things that he asks for in return. Perhaps it's because these things are easy to produce, there's lots of them laying around. For whatever reason, imagine that society places a low value on the resources this person asks for in exchange. We would look at this person and say, this is a person who we would like to have. He contributes more to society than he asks for in return. But now, take this person and superimpose on top of him a monetary system, where instead of exchanging the things he does for society's resources, he exchanges the things he does for money and uses the money to buy resources from others. This is what this would look like. The person provides value to society, and society gives him dollars in return. And the dollars are commensurate with the value that society places on these things he offers. Society highly values the services, and so people are willing to pay him a lot of money for these services. And then in return, the person takes some of this money that he's earned and he buys resources from society. And because society does not place a large value on the things he's asking for in return, they don't ask for much money for these. And so if you look at the system, what's happening is that the person is accumulating dollars. He will have more dollars coming in than there are dollars going out. And we call this profit. Now, many people look at profit and say that profit is, in some sense, a bad thing because it represents something someone is taking from society. But if you look at it in this context, profit is actually an indication that this person has done something good, that he has provided more value to others than he has asked for in exchange. And so as he provides this value and asks for things in exchange, he accumulates these dollar bills. We call them profit. Steve Jobs died with $80 billion in the bank. And he's an example of this person. Where did Jobs come up with this $80 billion? He came up with the $80 billion because these people liked the things he was offering better than they liked the dollars in their pocket. And so they gave dollars to Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs gave iPhones to the people. This was the transaction. At the end, Steve Jobs dies with lots of money in the bank, but the world ends up with lots of iPhones as the other half of the exchange. Profit is not a sign that people need to give back to society. In fact, it's the reverse. Profit, when attained in a free market environment, is a sign that society actually owes the person more goods and services than he has already consumed.